So I think before you begin, just wanted to thank all the students for being a part of this and all the very best. This is a stepping stone for your future journey. Uh, so I'm sure that although there might not be too much audience right now, this will be recorded and this will go on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so good luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, if all the panelists are there, Mukta, I am requesting you to please go live and start the webinar.
Yes, sir. I've
Panelists are
asked.
there? Yeah.
I've asked IT, sir.
Yeah, so please inform SIUIT to make the webinar live on YouTube and we can start. We should not keep audiences waiting.
Okay. It is live to start speaking. Okay. Okay, so we'll start right now. Okay. Can you guys switch on your camera, please?
Hello.
Hello?
हाँ मैम वी आर लाइव
Okay, so yes. Thank you, sir. Okay. Akansha, can you switch on your camera? Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mugdha, a counselor with SKU. So, today the theme of our webinar is from Clicks to Progress, Youth Digital Pathways for Sustainable Development. So, I'd like to start with a brief introduction of the topic. So, the United Nations has given 17 goals related to sustainable development. Now, sustainable development, what it means, it is about making sure that we take care of our planet and its resources so that our future generations can enjoy them also. Uh, right now, it is a global challenge that requires innovative solutions. So, also with the rise of digital technologies, there are now more opportunities for young people to contribute to the sustainability efforts. And today we'll hear those insights from our panelists who are from different backgrounds like marketing, mental health, finance, MBBS, and nutrition. So, will you please introduce yourselves?
So, hello everyone. I'm Suhani Agarwal and I'm from Symbiosis Center for Management Studies, which is in Viman Nagar, Pune. And my specialization is marketing and HR.
A very happy afternoon, everyone. I'm Bhavna Bora. I'm from Symbiosis Institute of Health Sciences, pursuing BSc in Mental Health and currently in my third year. And I'm from lovely Hill-based campus.
Dia, you can go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Dia Miklani. My specialization is finance and business analytics, and I'm joining from Delhi, Symbiosis Center for Management Studies, Noida. Looking for a great and interesting webinar.
Shreya?
Hello everyone, my name is Shreya Vadekar. I'm currently pursuing my MSc Nutrition and Dietetics with specialization Food Safety Quality Management at Lowry Campus, Hill Base. My passion lies in ensuring that the food we consume is not only nutritious but also safe in all aspects. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Akansha Ringsia. I'm currently pursuing MBBS from Symbiosis Medical College, Pune, from Symbiosis International University in the Lovely Campus, Pune. Heading towards a great webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much for introducing, guys. So we'll go ahead with the webinar. So for my first question is for Suhani. So Suhani, I would like you to shed light on how we can use digital marketing campaigns to raise awareness about mental health issues among youth, and what can be some of the digital tools.
Okay, so since we all know marketing has a huge role in spreading awareness about anything, whether it's about the company, brand, or any social message. So marketing does play a very important role, and there are many ways. The first and foremost is social media, and we can't it is like life changing solution really. So there have been many social media campaigns done by big brands that they usually try to spread the awareness about. Like, if I give a very good example, it was done by Dove. Dove did a Real Beauty Sketches campaign. It was a very beautiful campaign, one of the most successful, and it was launched around 2013. And there, what they did is they asked people one by one to come inside a room and tell about their own features. And usually after like they did that, and when that person went away, the another person took a look of that person and then they told what they thought about their features. So according to that campaign, it turned out to be that what we usually think about ourselves, the way we look, is not exactly how others look at us. They might think we are much more beautiful than we are actually. Okay, so that was a very beautiful campaign, and obviously, social media has raised such concerns that people are feeling very bad about their features due to looking at pictures and all. So, this was a very beautiful campaign done by those. Other than that, we have influencer marketing, like such huge personalities, like such big personalities, like Deepika Padukone. She talked about her depression in front of the world, which was a very great and generous thing for her to do because it's not an easy topic to talk about. But she did that, and that actually makes us feel that okay, these youth celebrities also feel like that when we are just normal human beings. We are trying to feel like that, correct? So to not anyone else go through the same thing, she also launched the foundation. So these are some of the really great ways that help us to spread awareness. And yeah, there are short films, apps, and many such more tools we can use.
Thank you, Suhani, for such an insightful answers, and those were some great examples. So yeah, we know celebrities by name, by what they do, but generally we are not aware about these things. Okay, so let's go ahead. Next, I like to ask Dia. When we talk about consumerism, so does that have any impact on sustainable development? And if yes, would you tell us more about it?
Yeah, sure. So consumerism has a significant impact on, we can say, the community problems, or we can say the sustainable development. How? Because it definitely everything has pros and cons. So when we talk about like the cons, sustainability has a bit of rules which are being not followed by the people itself while they are using brands, or purchasing for their own benefits. So if we talk about like how Apple is using these rare metal, or we can say earth products, which are also affecting the renewable resources of the society. So this is one thing which can also affect the climate. So SDG goal 13 climate action talks about that how we should also care about our climate for the future generations. That is something which we are we need to care upon, and which is being hindered upon. And secondly, if we talk about how people are just using, there are so many industrial projects coming up, there are so many things which are launching, factories are launching, so many trees are almost like cut, and we hardly find those animals we used to see. So the species are also, like, be it life on land for the SDG goal 12, or be it in water. So we have always been on vacations and everything, and we go for such scuba divings and everything, we don't find much species now than as compared to how it used to be. So how these life on land and life on water is also being hindered upon. So these are some negative impacts due to consumerism. I would like to talk about that how it's impacting the community problems. And if we talk about like a shift for how the future for the care, like we have a feeling of caring for future generations, and we are wanting to do something or the other in today's life, how we have also had some exposure from our schools itself, from our colleges itself, that we should actually do something about it. So definitely there is a shift where people are not just considered about their own profit when it comes to having business models or something. They're also thinking towards having a achieving a sustainable goal. So there are many startups coming up. They are having those potential financial modeling analysis in their mind, that how they can also contribute towards achieving the sustainable goals. That is something which I really like, that we as youth are actually thinking about it.
Thank you, Dia, for shedding light on the very important topic. So, since we are talking about consumerism, we can also see consumerism in the food industry. So, I'd like to ask Shreya. So, when we talk about grocery shopping, we can also see a big part consumerism plays in there. So, Shreya, so how can locally sourced foods or seasonal foods play an important role in nutrition, in sustainable nutrition? And then how can consumers make more environmentally friendly choices in that?
So, locally sourced foods plays a crucial role in sustainable nutrition by significantly reducing the carbon footprint associated with long-term distance transport. They require less energy for preservation, such as refrigeration, since they are often consumed as soon as they are harvested. By supporting local economy, consumers contribute to the livelihood of small-scale farmers and help them to build stronger communities. Additionally, local foods tends to be more fresher and more nutrient dense as they are usually harvested at peak ripeness. Seasonal foods, on the other hand, are grown in natural conditions, which reduces need for artificial energy inputs like greenhouse and irrigations. This practice supports biodiversity through crop rotation and improves soil health by preventing erosion. Seasonal foods are also more cost effective due to their abundance and are often more flavorful. To make environment more friendly in their choices, grocery shopping, consumers can opt for local and seasonal products by shopping at farmers market to reduce packaging waste by using reusable bags and containers and be conscious of food miles by choosing products that are produced closer to home.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for answering the question. So, your answer really makes us think deeper on the level of, how we process daily, or even the smaller things like grocery shopping. So, next, I would like to talk with Bhavana. So, Bhavana, you must be aware that right now there are many digital tools that are used for mental health, like it could be teletherapy, or there are various mental health apps. So, how can these apps help improve the access to mental health care and support sustainable practices?
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. So, mental health is central to sustainable developmental goals. And
Bhavana, you are not
mental health is not just a personal concern, but a critical and SDG 3 that. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Mental health is central to sustainable developmental goals, and mental health is not just a personal concern, but it's a critical component of all of our futures, and it directly ties up to the sustainable development goal number 3, which ensures good health and well-being for all. So, with the rapid advancement in technology and the digital space booming up, with coming up, with lots of startups working on mental health apps. So, teletherapy, especially after COVID, has seen an upsurge and a rapid growth in the industry. And also, teletherapy during COVID was a lifeline for people from anywhere, from any corner of the world to access personalized therapy peace from the places they are in. So it truly enhanced and made people accessible to availing mental health care services that are already there in digital platforms. So amongst us as youth, and I am also from the youth community, so I get to hear people discussing about the apps they use for their own self-care or tracking their mood parameters. I see a lot potential in these platforms that are coming up in. And also research also shows that digital interventions can be beneficial for tackling up the further mental health conditions like anxiety and depression. So these teletherapy apps and mental health apps have definitely helped people, especially youngsters, who are the major demographic consumers of all of these services, in availing these services and getting benefited from the same, as it has helped to overcome the barriers of stigma that exist in terms of mental health in our community and society. But slowly, with these apps and more acceptance of these apps, students are coming up in forefront and excel. And these are also a good measure of individuals' mental health parameters or concern, or an awareness to all of those students or individuals who are seeking for help to approach for further right help towards reaching out to professionals after taking help from these type of apps. So one of the recent example that I would love to share is the Happier Me app that also Symbiosis Center of Emotional Well-being provides with to the mental health ambassadors and also the students. So it's a beautiful example made in catering the teenagers and young adults aspect. So it has different modules from journaling to mood to reflective questions, exercises, and personalized help for coaches. So it is with well informed and backed up with scientific facts and researches. So these type of apps have definitely helped our youth community, and also bringing mental health into forefront and talking and sharing about their experiences of self-care and individual experiences of taking the support from those apps and teletherapy services, how much they help them, or in what regards, what aspects of that help or did not work for them. So yeah, definitely it has helped. And with when I talk about sustainability aspect, so it's SDG 10, because it reduces the going to the physical infrastructure and availing the traditional therapies with the traditional therapies that go on. So it reduces the carbon footprint in that aspect. So it helps in conscious consumerism, consuming of products and services that are already there in this regards. So yes. So
Yes, thank you so much, Bhavna. So I see the importance of digital tools in the role that they play in today's youth, for today's youth. So since we're on the topic of mental health, uh, I'd like to ask Akanksha to shed more light on the medical part of it. So medical students have various academic pressures. So, Akansha, I'd like to ask you, how can medical students leverage digital resources, to balance academic pressures and mental health?
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you are audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the question, ma'am. Medical students can leverage digital resources to balance academic pressure and maintain good health by adopting the following strategies. I'll be telling some strategies. Like there are certain apps, like we are very well aware of Google Calendar. It helps us in scheduling and managing our study routines. Like we students, we are not good with organizing our plans. So there are apps such as Google Calendar, which will help us to stick to our schedules. Secondly, there are online lecture platforms very well for MBBS. We're very well aware of Marrow Prep Ladders, which will present complex concepts in a accessible manner, and it will clear the concept, which is more important because clearing the concept is the key. If you clear the concept or later in the study later in your course, you will be feeling it easy to carry it on, because if your concepts are clear, then only you can write the answers in the exam. So clearing the concept is one of the important key factors which most of the students neglect these times. So these online platforms will help us a lot in clearing our concepts. Next, then we can access different resources, like we can access different journals, articles through the through different databases. For example, we are very well aware of PubMed, then Google Scholar. So these are all available through digital resources only. Then there are fitness, then coming to the health, which ma'am told, there are fitness tracking apps which will help you to track your fitness, your yogas. Like there are pocket yoga sort of apps which will give you notification that your time, this is your time, you have to sit and you have to do your task. So it will give you a reminder so that you don't forget it, and you inculcate it in your regular routine. So this will ultimately affect your health. So like the factors which I listed above, like scheduling the schedule through calendars, then using online platforms, then accessing different resources through digital databases, then then most importantly, there is social media, where you can vent out everything. Like you can discuss it with someone, your peers, whatever your problems are, you'll get a definite solution to that. Next, there means there are endless online counseling apps as well. This Symbiosis emotional well-being itself is an example that it offers therapeutic counseling to everyone. Whoever needs it will get it at one click. So like there are there are endless number of examples I can give, with in which digital helps in maintaining proper mental health with balancing the academic load. So by using these resources effectively, medical students can manage their academic workload efficiently, reducing the stress and maintaining a healthier balance between their studies and as well as well-being, both mental and physical well-being. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akansha. I'm sure these strategies will be helpful for all students from all the backgrounds and not just the MBBS students. We'll go ahead. So since Suhani, you're from marketing and HR background, so I would like to ask you something related to HR part. So how can HR departments develop and implement strategies? So when we talk about gender inclusivity in the organization and ensuring all the diverse voices are heard, will you please share some light on that?
Yeah, sure. So, in any workplace, we all need equality. That is our basic motivation, that we all are given equal rights and all, like we are given equal roles, equal leadership roles and everything. So, I think one of some of the strategies that every HR should use is making such policies, like where both the genders, and not only both the genders, but whoever is there, like all the genders that we have in today's time, everyone is given equal rights. That is like, if I talk on a broader aspect, for example, male and female. Okay. So like usually there are, as we all have heard of maternity leaves, but we have never heard of paternity leaves. Like men also need leaves. It's not always about, we have this mindset that men needs to work all the time, and women, although we have also fought for our rights for women and all, but we need men also to have equal rights. Exactly. So they should, when there is a need for them also to take a lead, maybe to support their family in certain situations, they should be given such leads. Other than that, I also feel that they can also conduct workshops to educate both the parties because it's very necessary that no one undermines each other. So by doing mentoring sessions, maybe due to discrimination, proper mentoring sessions will be held and it would help them to uplift them basically and work in a more efficient way. And yeah, pretty much that is how I think they should do. And if I give another example, like Google is such a company that really focuses on promoting women into tech field because usually there is a fear that the women can't do technology and all. So they are having multiple campaigns and all. Like they have been trying to get women into technology. If you all have heard of STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So they try to educate women under that so that they can also be part of such a big company and under technology. That is how they have been trying to advance everyone together and no one is left behind. So I think these are some of the really great ways that they should do because it's really, really important in a workplace. Yeah.
Thank you, Suhani, for sharing some amazing examples with us. So we'll transition a bit to the finance part. Dia, I'd like to ask you about community problems. So will you give us some examples of initiatives that have successfully engaged young people, especially young people, in financial and analytical skills when it comes to solving the community problems?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for the question. So I would like to talk about there are few programs which are, launched recently in the financial and analytical skills background, which empowers students. So, firstly, it's Enactus. We are very well known about how Delhi University is connected and collaborated with Enactus, like providing students to create social enterprises using financial and analytical skills to solve community problems. So, they help students in order to have their entrepreneurship journey connected with the sustainable goals. That is something Enactus does as at an international level, and being at an international level they can definitely have an impact on what society is going through. Second, I would like to talk about how UNICEF is contributing to sustainable development and to achieving the goals. UNICEF's innovation labs have also, empowered the youth and engaged youth in developing solutions to global issues such as zero hunger, and there are several more. And through data analysis and financial modeling, they have helped. Like these two concepts were the basic core concepts which they used in order to help achieve the sustainable goals. And third, I would like to talk about this competition held, Global Social Venture Competition, which also encourages youth in young entrepreneurs basically in order to use their financial skills to develop like the sustainable social ventures. So these three programs are having this common area where they contribute towards the goals and build up startups aligning with the goals. So that is something really which is something really empowering, and we can say everything is just motivating us to know that how sustainable goals are such important elements today. So that is something which I really like.
Thank you so much, Dia, for sharing, these wonderful initiatives. So since we are on the topic of, opportunities that we have, or uh, having quality education, so Suhani, I'd like to ask you, as you all know, college years are really important for students in the aspect of grabbing opportunities, or upskilling, as we call it today. So how do you have any suggestions that would help them stand out and grab some, good internships or opportunities that there are?
Okay, so yeah, this is a really crucial topic. So we all all are in college years, right? So we all are students right now, and there are so many students every year passing out, especially if we talk about BPSC. So like I feel it's it's really important to stand out during this time, like because there are so many students, so much of competition. And like this is my personal experience that I would like to share with you all that during my summer vacation I started writing on LinkedIn. So basically what I do on LinkedIn is it's personal branding. Usually it's called personal branding. So there is it's a place where I share my expertise. If not expertise since I am just a student right now, but still like I talk about my stories, what the opportunities I grabbed, how I grabbed them, what I learned. These are some of the topics that I talk about, and it's really important. And it has got me so much of opportunities, like so many of opportunities, like internships, recruiters reaching me out every day, like we would like to hire you or something like that. So I feel this was something a really new thing that I discovered in my summer vacation, and I'm really grateful for that. And I feel right now students are not that much aware of it. Like people usually think there is a mindset for LinkedIn that it is just about posting what you are doing right now, or you ended your internship, or you received any certificate. That is what only LinkedIn is about, which is not at all true. I feel today LinkedIn has changed a lot. Like before it used to happen, now it doesn't anymore. And it is like one of the healthiest platforms where you can voice your opinion because it is like an online CV now. It's not now okay. There is a CV, definitely it can impress the recruiter, but with your LinkedIn profile, it can give the credibility that okay, this person is actually genuine because she or he has so much of followers and so much of engagement. And it's not only about metrics, but it is more about that what all she writes, and it's not always about like numbers and how many people are interacting with you. It's a whole process. It will take a year also. It depends on the luck and your hard work. But I really feel everyone should do it if they have time. So that actually changes you as a whole person also. Like, yeah, so that really gives a great impact. So I feel like I would like to say that people should start writing on LinkedIn. It's not on regular basis, but at least once in a month maybe. And that would actually help you a lot to grab much more of quality internships rather than just, random internships.
Thank you so much, Suhani. So, yeah, as you said, we generally don't know कि LinkedIn is also used in this way. And we are generally, hesitant to share our stories or to share our views on LinkedIn. But yes, thank you for telling us the importance of sharing our stories. Yes. Okay. So let's move ahead. So next, I'd like to ask Bhavana. Since we talked about the digital platforms for mental health, so would you like to share with us, the challenges that young adults face in using these, and that needs to be addressed.
Sure, ma'am. So yeah, ma'am, it is very easy nowadays to fall into the traps of the information that is being circulated and provided during these like with these social media platforms and digital tools. So one of the most significant challenge remains is the misdiagnosis and the self-diagnosis that we, especially the youth community, is like facing with. So digital platform often rely on algorithms and self-reported data, which can lead to inaccurate assessments. So, for example, a young person or any student may be hearing some random advice while scrolling through the reels, or following a content creator, can start jumping into Google and googling all of their symptoms, and can go into that trap of self-diagnosing themselves, which is a critical issue. So because mental health is not something one size fits all that we are taught in our classrooms too. So it is more complex and more subtle, and it's different for different individuals. So one of the major challenge remains misdiagnosis and the self-diagnosis that students can entrap themselves in. Although like digital tools can help us with everything like that we talked about earlier while tracking our mood or giving self-reflective self-care exercises, but we should also not forget the limitations that they come up with, because they are just a complement to these using all of these services, but not a replacement to the services that are already there. And digital tools cannot fill that gap of professional care that we indulge ourselves, or an individual go and experience the deep uh, care that he or she experiences in front of a therapist in a traditional setting. So these are the challenges that are often being like faced and talked about. But the what could be the solutions? Solutions could be watching and seeing the things that we are following on social media platforms. Is it authentic or coming from the credible sources? Is it being shared by a certified mental health professional, or is it coming from a professional authority? And also maybe creating some guidelines and policies, or flagging in social media platforms too, which are the relevant platforms where to seek suggestions or advices from, and which to constrain ourselves from, to not going into that trap. So this is crucial, and also psychoeducating ourselves with the terms and words that we use very loosely nowadays. So as mental health ambassadors program is doing it very well, training the student community and peers with this psycho educating of these terms, anxiety, depression, and tackling these challenges in one or the other way, that will definitely have a big impact in the society.
Yeah, thank you, Bhavana. So, it is very important that we generally know the good side of the digital platforms that are used in mental health. So thank you so much for addressing the challenges that we face, and also giving some strategies for it. So next, I'd like to ask Akanksha. So, Akansha, there's a lot of treatment gap when it comes to healthcare. So, would you like to tell us how can healthcare professionals address these factors that contribute to the treatment gap in the healthcare factor?
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am,
Sorry?
I am audible. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you for the question, ma'am. Yes, there is a lot of treatment gap. We are very well aware of that, and it basically lies between who actually needs it and who actually receives it. Like there is a great gap, and we as a medical professional, we can address it by by following the approaches which are now I am going to enlist. Like firstly, we can enhance accessibility. For example, we can do it by implementing telemedicine, so that people living in remote areas, far away places, can even have an access to their diagnosis. Like we can do a clinical we can implement the approach of telemedicine. Through that, they can consult the doctor even by sitting at far off remote places. Secondly, we can increase the affordability. For example, the medical professionals can collaborate with NGOs, and they can make medicines more affordable, so it will be more accessible to a large number of people. Next, the medical professionals should undergo training. We as medicos should undergo trainings regarding the cultural competency to understand what other person feels. To like we have sessions on adcoms and ethical sessions so that we understand and we do not sympathize, rather we empathize with the patient. And it's very important in the current scenario. Next, we can conduct awareness campaigns for people. We have to address that they should not neglect their symptoms. The main problem is neglecting the symptoms, and when it becomes severe, they try to consult the doctor when the case is already severe. So we have to aware them to get their cases diagnosed and evaluated as soon as possible. Next, mental health, which is one of the most important topic. Like there is a social stigma regarding this topic, but we have to make it a normal thing. Like in today's time, 2024, it's all about anxiety, depression, mental disorder. So it's quite normal. So we have to normalize this thing, and we have to encourage more and more people to participate in sharing what they actually feel, and they should not restrict themselves, like what other person would feel, or like this program itself, social well-being of Symbiosis itself, encourages to share what you feel. Then only it will be resolved. If you do not share, you will be keeping it, and there is no solution to it. It will become worse. So we have to we have to do it by creating awareness, and we have to normalize this thing. Lastly, we have to invest in the capacity in training the development of healthcare professionals to be much more better and competent at their fields. So by addressing these factors, we can definitely we can cross this gap in the treatment, and one day surely the one who needs it will actually get it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Akansha. So I see we generally know that there is not a lot of awareness when it comes to mental health. But what you have highlighted is there's not much awareness when it comes to physical health also. So yes, that's a very important point. Yes. So when we talk about physical health, there's also the question of nutrition. So Shreya, I'd like to ask you, we already know that there's a lot of food waste. It could be in restaurants, it could be household waste. So at an individual level, if we want to contribute to sustainable nutrition, sustainable development, uh, so how can we do that? How can we take practical steps to minimize food waste?
Thank you for the question. So reducing food waste is important because it is directly connected to the greenhouse emission, particularly methane gas, which is produced when food waste decomposes in the landfills. By minimizing waste, we also conserve water, energy, and labor that go into food production. Practical steps to minimize food waste, which starts from like our house, can be include effective meal planning, which involves creating accurate shopping list and controlling portion sizes to avoid overproduction. Proper food storage techniques such as using airtight containers and applying the FIFO method, that is first in first out method, can extend the shelf life of the food. Additionally, creative use of leftovers, like repurposing them or into new meals or cooking with food scraps, further reduces waste. Like we usually tend, like what should we do about the leftovers that we have? We can or the scraps that are left. So the vegetable scraps that are left, we can just wash it properly and add it into a cooker, give 2-3 vessels, and your vegetable broth is ready. Same if there's a vegetable which you have cooked last night, and it is, you want to incorporate it with something, you can make parathas out of it. So these are some small steps which we already know, but we hesitate or we do not apply it, and we directly throw our food. So we should apply these small steps to reduce food waste. And lastly, I would say, like composting at home or participating in community composting programs can also divert organic waste from landfills, turning them into nutrient rich compost for gardening. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Shreya. So yeah, we generally don't give it that much of a thought when it comes to food waste or composting. So thank you so much for sharing those ideas. So as we go ahead, I'd like to ask Dia, to share us few successful studies when it comes to business analytics that have been used to develop mental health initiatives for young people.
Thank you so much for the question, ma'am. Definitely, I would love to share some successful case studies that would have, used to develop the mental health initiatives, especially targeting young people. So some of the notable examples are, firstly, I would like to mention about Ginger. So Ginger is a mental health provider in which they use AI-driven analytics to offer on-demand mental health support. So their platform combines of behavioral as well as health data, and advanced analytics is being used to analyze and offer personalized care for the individuals using those applications. And also the impact what Ginger has done is they have used these track users analytics for the behavioral, and they have also impacted, but particularly beneficially for young people, offering them mental health resources whenever they need them. So this is something which was really insightful when we talked about Ginger. And secondly, I would like to talk about Crisis Next Line. So Crisis Next Line is a non-profit organization which is providing free 24/7 support for the people in crisis via text messages. So what they do is that they use business analytics to identify trends and patterns in the data they have collected from the individuals and from the text they receive. And what impact they do is that by analyzing the data, the text line has identified those certain words people use or more often, or which are the strong indicators of suicidal thoughts, for example, or somebody who is not in a positive state. So this has allowed them to train them in a voluntary way, and how they have appointed volunteers accordingly what kind of text they have received due to analyzing the analytics from the text itself. So in such situations when we don't have anybody, we can use these applications, and we can get a positive response, and they have potentially unlocked the way of saving lives actually. So these were some successful case studies which I liked, and which have impacted for the mental health support, I must say.
Thank you so much, Dia, for sharing, these wonderful examples or platforms, even the role of AI that is there in mental health. So, since we're talking about mental health and all, so Akansha, I would like to ask you, ki, uh, I know for an MBBS student, their routine is very busy. So, how can practices like mindfulness and self-care practices be supported by digital technologies to, fit into the routine of a medical student? You're not audible, Akansha.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Huh. Thank you for the question, ma'am. Definitely, digital technology can play a significant role in helping medical students to incorporate mindfulness and self-care practices in their daily routines. For examples, there are apps such as Headspace, which offer guided medication that range from minutes or longer. So, in a life of a medical students, meditation is very neglected, or what we don't get time itself. But there are apps which will notify you, and which will tell you that it's important, and it will give you a reminder that you have to give this time to meditate. And it's very important in today's genre to meditate at least for 5 to 10 minutes. Next, there are apps for sleep cycle as well, maintaining a sleep cycle to monitor, and ultimately sleeping well will make your next day productive. Then there are apps like Google Calendar, which will monitor your how you manage your schedules and how you organize your study plans. Then there are yoga apps, which will also tell you that take out 5-10 minutes and do some yoga exercise or a running exercise, so that you maintain your physical health with your mental health. Like studying as a part, but you have to look out on your body physically, mentally, so it will notify you to add it in your regular routine. Then there are different soulful songs which we can hear too. There are apps which will give you relaxation music, so that whenever you're stressed, you can put on your headphones and you can relax for some time. Then there are social media platforms which will encourage you to have a discussion with your peers or with your friends and share your insights, what is going on with what is going on, and how is it difficult, then how can I resolve it. So definitely digital technology, definitely if we utilize these resources, it will medical students can make mindfulness and self-care a consistent part of their routine. It will help them manage stress, uh, be focused, and support their overall well-being, despite their demanding academic schedule.
Thank you, Akanksha. So, yeah, we know that there are resources out there, but we generally don't know what those are. So, thank you so much for sharing them and taking forward the
Thank you.
topic of mental health. So, I'd like to ask Bhavana. So, environmental issues have an effect on our mental health. So, as a mental health professional, what do you think we can do to help people cope with these effects?
Thank you for the question, ma'am. Yes, climate change is now no longer an environmental issue. It also comes with the deep psychological impacts that that an individual also suffers or faces with. But it is still an untapped thing right now. So I would like to quote a study by Lancet. So, according to a 2021 global survey published in the Lancet, 59% of young people reported feeling very or extremely worried about climate change, with over 45% saying that their feelings about climate change negatively affect their daily lives. So, climate anxiety or eco anxiety is an issue that is coming up with this climate change. So, what is climate anxiety? So, climate anxiety or eco anxiety is basically a uh, fear of environmental doom that is often stemming from the hazardous impact the climate change will be coming up with, and also the overwhelming information that is being shared uh, about climate change and its impact. So it has a deep psychological impact too, as taking examples of recent Kerala floods or like calamities in Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, where landslide and such type of natural calamities often occur. They do the physical damage is catered to, and is people get the adequate help too, but the psychological impact that all those disasters have on people, especially to those vulnerable communities in those areas of disasters, is quite deep, and also not considered or not given much value to like value and help too, as so like especially the childrens that are frequently experienced such type of experiences due to these issues, uh, have can have a more significant and more can have a more significant and more stressful outcomes in future. All those anxieties that can manifest in forms of post traumatic stress disorders or feelings of hopelessness and depression among those children and those people in the community. So the role of psychoeducation and mental health advocates become very vital in that scenario, as advocacy is vital for combating stigma and creating more inclusive uh, and compassionate community, where all those advocates can help in help the communities and individuals in seeking towards right help and appropriate resources. So like mental health advocates and advocacy plays a huge role, where in India, like various examples that I would like to share, like Help Age India and youth-led projects like Fridays for Future are not only raising up like awareness about these climate change uh, issues and its impact on psychological health, but they also offer a sense of solidarity and purpose, where an individual and community with who resonate to those environmental cause and suffers from extreme anxiety can turn their anxiety into mindful and attentive actions towards, by taking particular actions, maybe through with the communities that are working on these, joining those communities and channelizing their fears and concern into some mindful and meaningful step that can actually contribute to the sustainable developmental goals also. So Sangat is also an organization that is like prominent in mental health, and coming up with researches about the impacts of climate change and psychological well-being among individual and its impact. So and state of Hyderabad, Himachal Pradesh, they have run a community model of resilience building models, where the community from conscious environmental working community have tied up with mental health professionals in managing and creating programs for effective coping strategies that they can provide to the individuals and communities of those vulnerable areas affected by such type of circumstances in future. So resilience building models and coping strategies, psychological first aid, which is an emergency tool in combating these issues at the immediate hours, so can definitely help in in being in serving those scenarios and emergencies at that time, at the needful times. So mental health advocates can play a huge role in this, and where collaboration is the key. So they come up with various stakeholders, collaborating with various stakeholders, and together contributing and working on these issues to bring effective and meaningful intervention, so that those vulnerable community can get help too.
Thank you, Bhavana, for such a detailed response and shedding a light on the point of awareness and psychoeducation that is needed. Okay, so before going ahead, Akansha, can you please switch on your camera? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so since Bhavana, you mentioned the collaborative approach, so I'd like to open the panel discussion for all of you. So when we talk about collaboration, so how can students from various fields collaborate or work together more effectively on these digital sustainability projects?
So, ma'am, yes, collaboration is indeed a key in bringing all of these things that we are talking about today into an actionable output in future, or after this conversation. So, like I think creating spaces, more open spaces for dialogues and brainstorming about such type of issues, and bringing up people who are passionate for some cause and solving out some problem is a crucial step, where each one of us from every domain, from I from mental health, some people from nutrition, finance, can collaboratively come together and discuss and brainstorm about ideas, the gaps that this digital tools and digital technology is coming up with, and finding those gaps and like having a shared perspectives and perspectives on these issues can truly enhance, more can truly give us more broaden perspectives in solving a particular issue or a problem, thinking more deeply about the other nuances and giving a holistic side to that problem. So, like being open and approachable to people and various, like open to learning from various diverse backgrounds of their field of study too, and how it can benefit in our field of study, and through collaborating and understanding about what aligns with the diverse subjects that we are studying in, and what aligns and what are the gaps, so we can together come up with some solutions or a daily, some type of activities that, or a problem statement that we can work on together, not from just a perspective of a mental health student, but also adding and respecting to the perspectives that will be coming from a nutrition background, from HR student, from marketing student, so that we can consciously take each one of our individual bit and contribution in at least doing things that are in control for us. So maybe, when we enter up the academic goals that we have, sustainable developmental goals too, one or each, like in 3 or 4 year degree program. So what is the SDG that we will be working on? Although it's a collective of all, but like still targeting on one, and with that sense of strong passionate community, it can truly fuel the processes and can help us in coming up with actionable steps.
Thank you for your answer, Bhavna. Suhani, would you like to share your view?
Okay, so I truly believe that this is an interdisciplinary approach that it involves. So, like, it's not only about the students that we are right now sitting here, it's also technology and many other fields that can come under this. So, if I talk about marketing aspect, I feel obviously we are the people who can find the gap. That is, we can do the market research that where people are actually facing problems, what part of the country, or not only country but in the world, where exactly the problem is coming, and how, like, educate people, right? Like, we have professionals, also medical professionals, and we can talk to them about it, like what exactly we should do and how should we educate them and how should we make, because there are many people in this world that still don't know about this. We all are going to universities, schools. That's why we are somewhere aware about this topic. But there are still many people who are not aware or feel like a stigma. So I truly believe that we, as a marketing or HR professional, we all can slowly, bit by bit, can start working on it. And then we have nutrition, and we can like talk to them also, because now only physical health is not important, it's mental also. So if you're not mentally well, then physically is also not somewhere you will be good, because somewhere it has a very huge impact of that too, I feel. So yeah, that is how somewhere we all can contribute, and I really hope that we all, after graduating from our college, will be contributing in some way and making this world a better place to live.
That was very insightful, Suhani. Thank you. Yeah. Shreya, would you like to go ahead?
Uh, According to me, mental health and nutrition are interconnected because proper nutrition supports mental well-being, while good mental health can lead to better eating habits. So, addressing both of these areas can improve overall health, leading to more resilient and productive population. And secondly, for the sustainable development, eating less processed food or eating less overly processed foods can also help in reducing the carbon footprints. It also helps in the reduction of energy that is used to produce, the amount of the food, and also it reduces the wastage of the food, because for a healthy cooking, if we cook something and then we eat it there and there, and next morning you cook something fresh, so it helps to reduce the food waste also. So I think mental health and nutrition can go hand in hand for sustainable development. Also, finance and HR would also come up, with some strategies or some awareness programs to help the population understand what exactly, nutritious diet and mental well-being can do to us. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I totally agree. We generally don't know about, how mental health and nutrition might be connected. So thank you so much for sharing that. So Dia, would you like to share your view on this?
Yeah, sure. So, like, in order to work together effectively, I would like to tell you all that how I can leverage my financial and business analytical background by focusing on like concepts like budgeting and cost analysis and long-term financial planning. And I can, help make sure that how sustainability efforts are both practical also and sustainable in a long run also. And I would like to collaborate closely with Bhavna, who is working towards the mental health program, and she's a BSc mental health third year student. So I would like to talk about that how she can bring a deep understanding of the psychological as well as the societal impacts of our projects. So there will be a perspective of a human element also in our project. So that is something that we are not just caring about sustainably, but also we are socially responsible about our projects. Thirdly, teaming up with Suhani, who is a marketing and an HR specialization student, I would like to talk about that how she can help us craft like some compelling campaigns, and her expertise in the consumer behavior or organizational dynamics can help us effectively communicate towards the society and build a strong impact. And lastly, with the students in the medical field, both being in nutrition and dietetics as well as MBBS, I would like to talk about that how their knowledge in sustainable health, and we can say the nutrition prospects, we can their knowledge will definitely be an essential part, because how our diet is what 80% includes our mental and emotional well-being, what just she mentioned. So I would like to talk about that we are not just promoting environmental sustainably, but also the well-being of individuals. So that is something which medical students can help us with.
Yes, thank you so much. That was a very good perspective, on how you can collaborate with different fields. So, last but not the least, I would like all of you to, share an example of how insights from your fields can have influenced your digital project ideas for sustainable development. Akansha, you're on mute.
Yeah, thank you for the question, ma'am. Definitely, the earlier question, I agree. Definitely, if everyone integrate, we all come together, we'll definitely make a change. Then I'll talk about my field as an MBBS. As an MBBS, I've already taken a lot of points. I've already addressed them. But concluding it, we as medicos, we can, if we want, we can actually address it. The major factor is patient care. Like half of the problem of the patient can be resolved if we as a medicos give them that time. Do not judge them. Do not make them feel that your problem is something which is rare or which is like to not to talk about. Like we should be empathetic. We should feel that what the patient might be feeling. We should keep ourselves in that shoe, and we should be empathetic. Rather, in today's gender, it's like come sit. The diagnosis will be given. Go take medicines and go home. No, but if we as medicals we give them that time, they'll have the treatment will be done then and there. So firstly we should inculcate these abilities, these qualities to spend time with patients and understand their problem. Secondly, we can spread awareness, public health awareness, to not neglect these, to not take medicines, like people take medicines for depression or without consulting the doctor, which is not good. They take sleeping pills. So first you consult, first you counsel, then you go for anything. Then we can go for telemedicine, and we can consult even remote area people through digital platforms. We can aware them regarding the consequences of not addressing these problems, like continuous dealing with these will ultimately lead to a disorder which won't be treated at that time. So it's better to get it treated right now through counseling. So lastly, if we all come together as a integrative thing, it will be definitely a major change will be seen, and definitely will be very good for the society.
Yes, thank you, Akanksha. Yes, I totally agree with your points. Ki doctors should treat more with empathy also, rather than just what you said. Okay, so next, Shreya, would you like to share your view?
Yeah, one insightful strategy that we can follow is farm to forks. Usually, farmers have their crops, have vegetable fruits to sell in the market, but they don't have the source. And so these vegetables are then collected and then purchased by big vendors or the stores, big stores, and then they're utilized there. But the freshness degrades because the time that reaches till that shop is very much. Okay, so freshness, its nutritive value all decreases. So something a plan which helps farmers to directly connect to the folks can help easily sell their vegetables, so they would get money out of it, and we would get nutrient dense food or the raw materials that we need. So I think this strategy can be implemented.
Yeah, yes, I totally agree. Thank you so much. Next, Suhani, would you like to go?
Yeah. Before that, I just have a small question from Akansha, if she would like to answer or she has the knowledge about it. So, as she said that doctors, in today's time, doctors are just, asking the patients to come and, just diagnose and give them the medicines and make them go back. That is like totally wrong. I definitely agree with what she said that more empathy is needed in this, because that is how only you will be able to cure that patient. But since we have been reading in news also that the doctors are not that much in our country, there is less, not many doctors are there, or maybe most of our youth is going outside the country. Okay, like they don't want to study in India due to multiple reasons. So, Akansha, if you would like to answer this question, do you think like there are so many people dealing with this problem? Okay, mental health is a universal problem, but how can a doctor can give so much of time to every patient? Because even if we take 1 hour per patient, how will they be able to try to connect with everyone and try to cure them? Like, that is my question.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I would like to address it. Yeah, giving time to patient doesn't mean giving like half an hour or 1 hour to a patient. Like it's just the requirement, what they need. Like I'm not telling you to sit for an hour and give them therapy or counseling, because that's not possible, as you rightly correctly said. But the requirement, the adequate time needs to be given. Like you have to give at least 5 to 10 minutes, or like you have to counsel the patient. Like at least you have to explain him about the treatment procedure, that you have to go through the treatment. These are the pros, these are the cons. But nowadays, what I'm seeing is no one is even bother of telling the pros and cons. They'll be just writing endoscopy, this surgery, hernioplasty, and all. They're not even conveying the patient that these are the pros, these are the cons. Like you have to sit and you have to at least give 5 to 10 minutes to a patient. What is the requirement? It depends on the requirement. If they need 15 minutes, you have to give to be a better doctor for a lifelong time. I understand that there is patient load, but as a human, as a professional, you have taken the oath that you will be giving your best. You will be giving your best from your part. So you will try your best to give what all you can deliver to the patient. I'm not talking about all the doctors, but I myself believe that if I give my 5 minutes is equivalent to their an hour. Like they'll think if I've talked to 5 minutes to them for only 5 minutes, they'll think I've talked to them for 1 hour because I'm conveying everything to them, whatever is required. Not like I'm not just asking them the question, I'm writing and I'm giving go take medicines and go home. No, I'll convey them all the necessary things. I'll counsel if required. I'll give them 5-10 minutes more. But what I've taken the oath and what my profession tells me to do, I'll definitely follow and I'll definitely practice that from my side. I'm not promising from others' perspective, but from my side, I'll try my best to follow this. I hope it's clear.
Yeah, definitely it's clear. That's a really great answer. Okay, and yeah. Other than that, the insights that we are talking about, like there is a small case study that I would like to share. Like there is a company we all know, Levi's. So what exactly they did was due to with their campaign, we what happens is during the production of denim, okay, there is a lot of water is used in that, which basically creates a lot of waste also, and that causes into water pollution and all. So there was a huge concern among all the citizens that a lot of water is being used. So what Levi's did was they suggested that don't wash your denim jeans for like around 5 to 6 months, and that is completely fine. So they started this campaign so that people to not wash it, but the quality won't be degraded if you won't wash. Okay, it will stay the same. So that is how they were trying to promote, like making it sustainable, showing their sustainability commitment towards sustainability. That although the water is a lot of used in this, but still if you won't wash it, a lot of water will be saved also with that. And other than that, they also introduced some of the technologies. But yeah, this was something a really, really great campaign that they started, and it actually helped a lot. And people started buying more Levi's jeans because they got a surety that the quality won't be compromised, even if we wear it for months and it won't be that much dirty, or we can, just keep on wearing them. So that was another really great campaign that they did for sustainability.
Thank you, Suhani. That was really, it's a very good perspective, even on the daily clothes that we wear. Yeah. So, Dia, would you like to share your perspective on this?
Yeah. So, like, as a BBA finance student, I recently worked on a project, like, it was focused on reducing paper usage on campus. So my role was to like assess the financial impact on that, like how we could switch from the printed papers to the digital formats. So by calculating the potential savings, or we can say like on the printed costs and paper purchases. So I was able to demonstrate that going digital can definitely save a lot of, costs, and we can say even the resources. So it could not only benefit the environment, but also save the university's money. And this helped me, like, in order to bring a strong case for the project. So showing that small changes in the operations can also, have a significant sustainability and financial benefits. So this experience definitely showed me that how financial insights can be crucial in order to promote sustainable practices.
Yeah, true. That's very beautiful. Yeah. So, Bhavna, would you like to share your perspective on this?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. So, ma'am, my studies in mental health, has given me this profound value of this statement that awareness is the first step to change, and how each and every individual action, and whether it's a small action of yours, from using a cloth bag or for purchasing gross for going out in the market, or all the sustainable products that one individual can start with, and that behavior change starts with us. So there was a subject we had in one of the semesters, mental health advocacy. So it truly like highlighted the profound impact of that individual thought and action that that can create a ripple effect in future, because it's so neglected and so underestimated that it often sometimes becomes a barrier for taking action uh, in the path of individual's journey. So for me, it has made me more open and more willing to collaborate with people and to indulge with meaningful discussions and meaningful discussions happening around and understanding them, not from this very surface level or superficial level, but truly diving them, understanding the actual scenarios and concerns of those topics and problems, and then stepping and pausing in between and thinking that how can I contribute to this in my smallest to smallest ways, whether it's sharing something about my reflections on LinkedIn, or connecting with passionate individuals and like-minded community in LinkedIn. So through that, I have got a very good network connection of like-minded people where they are solving various such problems, and where we can also be part of, and various such youth initiatives. So that has definitely broadened my horizon and that perspectives towards approaching problems and people, and also being the person open to hearing perspectives of others, and also welcoming the ideas of others. So it's like every nowadays, like the joy, like everything is in our fingertips, whether it's from posting content on social media platforms to amplifying our voices towards a certain issues, and through all these platforms. So that has given me more confidence towards approaching people, and also being a good like listener, so that there could be a room for others also to come and share, and those ideas and thoughts, we never know in future when it can amalgamate together in forming something that could be a contribution for the greater good of community, society, for our nation, and for the greater good of our mother nature. So I would definitely like to add this: behavior change starts with us, and our each and every choice matters and holds a profound impact. So whatever smallest step that we can take as an individual, we should definitely go ahead and take that, and we would connect with like-minded individuals, and that ripple effects keeps on creating, and things starts happening. So yes.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing your perspective on this. And last but not the least, I would like Shreya to give her perspective on this.
As Bhavna rightly said, that the first step is awareness. If you are not aware about what problems or what things you're gonna do, we won't get to the goal there. The first step is awareness. Like you should be aware about what you want. And second is how you do is also important here, because saving something doesn't mean to destroy 10 things. Okay, so being in a having a profound idea or having a systematic idea about the goal that you want to achieve is more important here. I would like to add.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your perspectives on, you know, uh, on both of the questions. It's unfortunately time to wrap up our webinar. So, as we wrap up today's webinar, I want to take a moment to sincerely thank all of you for being here and participating so actively. in this discussion. So I want you to know that your insights, your questions, and your engagement have made this discussion on our theme, from clicks to progress, youth digital pathways for sustainable development, truly meaningful. And the ideas shared by you guys are a reminder that every digital advancement carries a potential for positive change. And with this, I would like to conclude our webinar. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you so
ma'am.
much, ma'am, for this beautiful report. And thank you, everyone, for sharing such insightful answers.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a wonderful program. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
So we can stop the live streaming and we can end the webinar here.